only one of us left in contention.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, welcome everyone. This is game 516, the last game week of the Flames quiz brought to you by FLQL. We've got Sarah on seat 1, Kaustuv on seat 2, Ben on seat 3, Keshava on seat 4. This is a tier 1 lineup. There is a chance for Sarah to make it to the finals, potentially if she wins today, but best of luck to everybody. Remember, only the winner can advance into the finals according to the maths, but nonetheless, just have a good, easy, relaxed game. We will start with Sarah. First of 2 direct questions coming up now. Mary Beard, Britain's best-known classicist and author of SPQR, A History of Ancient Rome, is also the host of which BBC Arts documentary, for which she posed in the buff in order to properly investigate the subject and leave no fig leaf unturned. The title of the show is reached by changing the last word in the title of one of the most provocative accounts of modern art ever written.
I've watched this and I can't remember.
10 seconds.
Forbidden art.
Not forbidden art. Passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Ben.
Pass.
Keshav.
Pass.
Pass. So this is a wordplay on shock of the new. It's shock of the nude.
Yeah.
Second question for Sarah. With a soundbox traditionally made of halved coconut shells or a hollowed out cylinder of wood, which ancient stringed instrument is considered to be a predecessor to the violin? It is believed to have originated among the Hela people of Sri Lanka during the rule of its king, who supposedly used this in his devotions to Lord Shiva.
Hmm.
10 seconds.
Pass.
Okay, passes to Kaustuv.
Take a guess. Is this Kalbela or Kalbeli?
Wrong. Passes to Ben.
Pass.
Keshav.
Pass.
Pass. This is called the Ravan Hatta. Or Ravan.
Oh.
Ravan was the king being referred to.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Quite the start. Yeah.
Moving now to Kaustuv, first of 2 directs. In 2020, Beyonce wrote or directed the visual album Black is King as an accompaniment to a 2019 music album curated by her for the remake of which animated musical? The album saw Beyonce collaborating with numerous African musicians.
The Lion King.
That's you off the mark. Second direct. Whose star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is unique, being the only one to be mounted on a vertical surface out of deference to the legend's request that the name they share with a religious figure not be walked upon. Ten seconds.
Muhammad Ali.
Gets you a second point.
Nice.
Moving to Ben. John Keats is on first looking into Chapman's Homer, concludes with what appears to be a serious gaffe, as he seems to have mixed up blank 1, who founded a colonial settlement on the Isthmus of Darien, now known as the Isthmus of Panama, in 1510, with blank 2. Who are blank 1 and blank 2? Blank 1 is credited as the first European to view the Pacific Ocean, while blank 2 saw it nearly a decade later and never set foot in Darien. Need both, the order does not matter.
Oh God.
10 10 seconds.
I will try Cortez and Pizarro.
Passes to Keshav.
Pass.
Okay, passes to Sarah.
Pass.
Passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Well, one of them is definitely Cortez. So the question
Yeah,
is
in
the
a
other.
classic quiz, this would have been 5 points. Cortez and Balboa.
Oh, that was my guess. I should have gone for it.
First, yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Vasco Nunez de Balboa.
Too conservative, huh?
Okay, second question for Ben. A term from medieval heraldry, this essentially implies that the embossed coat of arms was duplicated or miniaturized onto the larger ensign recursively, literally meaning placed into abyss. What three-worded French term is this? Guided, sick, to its present critical theoretical usage in commenting upon certain maids of honor. The Drosty effect is an example of this concept where a picture recursively appears within itself. Ten seconds.
Yeah. I have no idea. Pass.
Keshav,
Pass.
Sarah,
Pass.
Kaustuv,
Pass.
pass. Okay.
Thanks.
Yes. This is mise en abîme. So the maids of honor here refers to Velasquez and Plastic and us.
Okay.
Okay. Moving now to Keshav for his set of 2. And here we go. In Sequences in American Psycho, we see Bateman's apartment expensively equipped with this painting from the Men in the City series, which depicted sharply dressed people writhing in contorted emotion. Who is the artist who directed the music videos of New Order's Bizarre Love Triangle, Megadeth's Peace Cells, and The One I Love by R.E.M.?
No idea. Cindy Sherman.
Passes to Sarah.
Pass.
Ben?
Pass.
Kaustuv?
Pass.
5th X already. This is
Wow.
Robert Longo. I've seen this answer only in one quiz till now. So
Okay.
it's one of the toughies.
So glad this game is being recorded for us.
Yeah.
All right. Second direct now for Keshav, last of the round. Created by Niantic, this game got into the Guinness World Records in August 2016 with the most review grossed by a mobile game in the first month. In 7 months, it also became the fastest mobile game to earn $1 billion in revenue. Identified this game, which courted controversy by using locations such as Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum and the Hiroshima Peace Memorial as its hunting grounds.
Pokemon Go.
Yes, that gets you off the mark. And that takes us to round 2, early days. We'll start becoming slightly easier now. Sarah, your first direct. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce in the early 70s honored what success with a uniquely designed special award in the category of television as a tribute to perhaps the most famous live TV broadcast of all time, as well as the longest continuous live television coverage in history, lasting for 31 hours straight. The image shows the unique shape of this star on the Walk of Fame.
The moon landings?
Gets you off the mark. Good answer. Second question. In early 1960, Firoz Irani visited a teppanyaki restaurant in California with his Japanese wife. Returned to Mumbai, inspired by that meal, and started a restaurant near Excelsior Cinema bearing what one-word name? He chose this name since his restaurant started serving single dish meals where meat and vegetables were cooked on a very, very hot plate before they were put out to serve. Ten seconds.
Firestone?
Firestone. Ben,
Pass.
Keshav.
Pass.
Sorry, was that a pass?
Yeah, it's a pass.
Okay, Kaustuv.
Pass.
Pass. This is Sizzler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
That
moving
is
on.
too generic to be a name, so
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was an
don't-
Indian restaurant they were gonna be
everybody
talking about.
groaned.
I was-
Everybody groaned in my game. So I thought, okay, this is a restaurant that I've never heard of, never been to.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
It's
go.
an American
First-
chain, I think, Sizzler, but I didn't realize they were asking
Oh,
for
right,
that.
right. Okay, that's right. That's probably right.
Yeah, they're very popular in Australia.
I thought they were okay. I thought they were asking for something Indian. I didn't even really think it could be an American thing.
All right, moving now to Kaustuv. This first of two directs. Which Greek basketballer is the only to ever become MVP and most improved player in the same season? Nicknamed the Greek Freak, he led the Milwaukee Bucks to the championship title in 2020-2021.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I will give it for that.
I think we got to accept that. Come on.
Yeah, you missed a toe, but that's fine.
I mean, no, that's not what his last name is, but it's fine.
Yeah, there you go. Just in case you ever go for spell bee, this is the answer.
Yeah.
All right. Kaustuv, second question. Betty Davis makes 2 appearances in the list of 50 villains in AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains list. One is for playing Regina Giddens in The Little Foxes. And for which film did she make the list, playing Jane Hudson, who torments her paraplegic sister, played by Joan Crawford, in a dilapidated Hollywood mansion?
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
It's 4 on 4 for Kaustuv.
Nice.
Moving now to Ben. In yoga, many of the asanas or poses are named after animals due to the resemblance to it. In this yoga pose called the Kurmasana, one sits on the floor, bending forward with legs outstretched in front. What animal with the pose resembles in aerial view is this named after?
Frog.
No, not the frog, Keshav.
The wild boar.
Not the boar, Sarah.
Pass.
Kaustuv.
Turtle or tortoise. They are.
Oh yeah, the
both are
turtle,
acceptable.
of course.
That does
Yeah,
not look
yeah,
like
yeah.
a turtle.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I remember.
Maybe
Yeah,
crab,
bad.
but yeah.
So incidentally, the
Varaha.
way of
Very-
arriving at the answer is the fact that Vishnu's second avatar was
Yeah,
called
yeah. No, I
Kurma.
was thinking of Vishnu's avatars and I got them confused. Of course. Yeah, that's why.
Right, right. Ah, yeah.
I'd guess
So
him.
I think boar is Varaha.
Varaha, exactly.
Yeah.
Varaha, yeah, exactly. Anyway, never mind.
Okay, moving on to Ben's second question. Which classical Indian instrument has found its place in the annals of world music after the Beatles first used it in their number Norwegian Wood? Also featuring in Rolling Stones' number Painted Black, the instrument's popularity is often attributed to Ravi Shankar, who along with Allah Rakha took this to the Western world, like performing at Woodstock, for example.
Sitar.
And everyone's off the mark, finally. Well done. Moving now to Keshav, as first direct. Faye Dunaway also makes 2 appearances in the list of villains in AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains. One was for playing Bonnie Parker in Bonnie and Clyde, for which 1981 film did she make the list for playing Joan Crawford. She also netted a Razzie for her performance in that film, giving Wire Hangers an eternal bad rap.
Mommy Dearest.
Excellent answer. Second direct. Putting food up in flames, or flambéing as the exact term is, became popular in the 19th century following the publishing of which mid-19th century book? It was a figgy pudding blazing in half a quarter of ignited brandy that really made flambéing a rage. Illustration shown here.
Little Women.
Not Little Women. Passes to Sarah.
Sorry, could I see the image again?
Yep.
A Christmas Carol?
Is correct.
Nice.
All right. 2 rounds done. Moving back to Sarah for her first direct of round 3. Nicknamed Rhino, which Australian bowler's dismissal of Alistair Cook in the 2013 Perth Test was voted by ESPN Cricinfo as #1 on the list of balls of the 21st century. It was the very first ball of the final innings that set the tone for Australia, beating England by 150 runs.
Sorry, I'm just going to put this on my bigger screen so I can.
Yeah, I'll zoom in as well so that it helps.
Yeah. Probably won't. 2013.
Zoom out now.
2013.
10 seconds. Have to
Mitchell
pass you.
Stark. Mitchell
Not
Stark.
Not Mitchell Stark. Ben?
Pass.
Keshav?
Ryan Harris.
Yes, you seem to be champing at the bit the moment the question popped up. Nicely done.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if it would come to me, but yeah.
Okay. Sarah second. Which German NBA player went on a great run during the 2006-2007 campaign, averaging 24.6 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game on 50, 41, 90 shooting, but had to wait until 2011 when he'd win his first and only NBA championship?
Pass.
We pass to Ben.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki gets your point.
I was
Moving.
out after Antetokounmpo. That was the only basketball player I know.
Hang in there, there's still 2 more to come. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Moving now to Kaustuv, first direct of round 3. What term is used to describe any type of eyewear that has a lens which can correct these types of vision? Close up, intermediate, and distance.
Bifocal lenses.
Passes to Ben.
No. Oh.
Is trifocals?
Yes, it's
Nice.
trifocal. There's
Bad
no
luck.
prompt on
Alright.
bifocal. Had you said something
Bad
like varifocal, I would have prompted, but
I didn't know there was something called trifocal, honestly. I
Yeah.
thought it was,
Yeah, very focals. That's what I've got here.
Okay, here we go. Costa second direct. The International Booker Prize, formerly the Man Booker International Prize, was created as an international complement to the Booker. In 2018, which Polish author won the International Booker for her book Flights? Jennifer Croft translated it into English, and the Literature Nobel also was won by her, 2018. Awarded in 2019 due to postponement. Her magnum opus, The Books of Jacob, released after 7 years of translation work, has been nominated for the 2022 International Booker, but received backlash from nationalist groups for its celebration of cultural diversity.
pass.
Okay, passes to Sarah.
Pass.
Ben,
Pass.
Keshav.
Olga Tokarczuk.
Absolutely, pronounced perfectly and absolutely correct. Nicely done. Moving to Ben, first direct. Who received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his work as producer of Miss Universe. However, the continued controversy surrounding him since has resulted in his Hollywood Walk of Fame star being defaced several times, as seen here.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump gets your point. Nicely done. Okay, second direct. Which meta-comedy film written by Charlie Kaufman is based on his struggles to render Susan Orleans' 1998 book based on her New York article from January 1995 for the big screen while suffering from writer's block? It involves elements refashioned from the book plus fictitious elements including Kaufman's twin brother, also credited as a writer for the film, and the plant dealer LaRoche, who was determined to clone the rare ghost orchid for profit.
Oh. I
10
can
seconds.
picture this, but I don't remember the title. Serendipity.
Wrong. Sarah?
Adaptation.
That's what
Adaptation
yeah.
is right.
That was-
Indeed, Chris Cooper. Okay, moving now to Keshav's 2. Which British TV program, the longest running children's TV show in the world, broadcast since 1958, is named after a maritime signal flag indicating that the vessel flying is about to leave. Pictured here is the 10th book of the series of annuals, which featured content from that year's episodes, its cover being a famous example of the Drosky effect in pop culture.
Blue Peter.
Yes, Blue Peter is correct. Second direct for Keshav. Mary Beard uses this headdress from Nigeria, made by which West African ethnic group, to challenge how the Western nude is so often sexualized into an object of desire. She notes how a naked woman is right at the center, but the sculpture is about her community's prosperity. Her body is exposed, but it is doing a different job. She's a woman, but she's in the middle, powerful.
Yoruba.
Would I take no idea or Yoruba? One of the two is right.
Yoruba. Yeah.
Is
I was choosing between a few, but yeah, chose the right one.
good answer. 3 rounds done. Starting with Sarah again, round 4. This man landed his very own smooth flowing, vibrant single on the Beyonce album, Lion King, The Gift with Ja Ara A. Who is this Nigerian artist who on 28th April 2022 became the first African artist to headline and sell out a concert at Madison Square Gardens?
Mm.
10 seconds.
Right. African boy.
Kaustuv?
Pass.
Oh, sorry. Passes to Ben.
Pass.
Keshav?
Pass.
Pass. This is Burna Boy. You would have accepted Bolu as well.
I've had this on several quizzes and it never
Yeah.
sticks. Never
Yeah.
sticks.
Okay, that's one done. One more question coming up. Even when a book is finished, edited, and proofed to everyone's satisfaction, things can still go disastrously wrong. In 2010, the novel Freedom's first UK edition was riddled with typographic errors after the typesetters used an early draft of the manuscript. HarperCollins were forced to set up a Freedom Exchange hotline on which aggrieved readers could swap their copy for a correctly produced edition. The corrections completed, Freedom led to whose appearance on the cover of Time magazine with the headline, Great American Novelist?
All right, I'm just going to zoom in.
Pulling out now. 10 seconds. To pass you in 3.
Wolf. I don't know.
Okay, passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Ben.
Jonathan Franzen.
Yes, Jonathan Franzen it is indeed. Corrections and Freedom with the hints. Okay, moving now to Kaustuv. First direct Kabila. In Skyfall, Bond finds himself witnessing a stolen painting shown to a buyer in Shanghai. The buyer is subsequently killed and the plot continues. But the painting in question, Woman with a Fan, was stolen in real life in 2010 and has yet to be recovered. Who is the artist played on screen by Gerard Philippe and Andy Garcia in 1958 and 2004 respectively?
Modigliani.
Yes, correct. Second.
So what was the answer there?
Modigliani.
Yeah, Modigliani.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Moving to the second question. Regina Spektor did a cover of Beatles' While My Guitar Gently Weeps for the 2016 Kubo with 2 strings featuring which 3-stringed Japanese musical instrument? Derived from a similarly named Chinese instrument, this accompanies a kabuki or geisha performance and is played with a pluck named bachi.
Shamisen.
Is also correct. Nicely done. First direct now for Ben. Mary Beard calls which sculpture the modern equivalent of the ancient Greek prototypical statues of Aphrodite in being the fridge magnet version of a male dude. When it first went up in the public square in Florence, the sculptor wanted to display the classical body as a version of its citizenly virtue, but citizens of Florence pelted it, fitting in a little belt with some low-hanging leaves from it to disguise its genitals.
David.
That's correct. Second for Ben. In Beyonce's Lion King, The Gift, her daughter Blue Ivy Carter came on to sing a portion of Brown Skin Girl alongside the Guyanese American rapper Saint GHN, and which Nigerian with a magical voice? The most streamed Nigerian artist on Spotify. He also collaborated with Drake on his chart topper One Dance.
Yeah, like Sarah, I know I've heard this in quizzes, and I just don't know who this is. No, I'll pass.
Sarah?
Pass.
Passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Keshav?
Hey, Mike, it doesn't stick. It hasn't stuck. Pass.
This is WizKid.
Ah, yeah.
Accepted. Okay, moving to Keshav's first direct. What common name is given to a lorgnette, which is a pair of spectacles with a handle used to keep it in its place rather than fitting over the ear or the nose? The lorgnette enabled women to view their surroundings, as corrective eyeglasses were mostly reserved for men. The common name arises from the lorgnette being used to take a sidelong look at certain high society proceedings, especially the attendance of others at these events.
Opera glasses?
Indeed, it is opera glasses. Good answer. Since 2016, the International Booker has been awarded to a particular work translated into English rather than to the author's entire corpus. All winning translators have been women, as was the 2016 winner Han Kang, for which book, where the title character makes a drastic lifestyle change after a nightmare about human cruelty. Mahatma Gandhi was perhaps the most internationally famous member of a London society, whose logo is shown here, of the same name.
The Vegetarian.
Absolutely.
Sorry, what was the answer?
It's called the Vegetarian. Guys,
Oh, it's a vegetarian society.
I'll just be back in 30 seconds. Huh?
Okay.
Just, since we're at halfway. Yeah.
A rough packet.
All right, back. Sorry.
Okay. Moving on to Sarah. First question of round 5. In this yoga pose called the Kukutasana, the hands are threaded through behind the knees and the weight of the body is supported by the hands pressing down on the floor. Derived from the sitting Padmasana position, which rousing avian is this pose named for? Ten seconds.
The cockerel or rooster?
Yes. Second direct for Sarah. Katsuro is described as a street urchin and a pickpocket until Sensei adopted him as a blank student. He is skilled with a blade and quick on his feet. It makes his appearance as the primary character in which video game developed by Halfbrick. A Zen mode in the game, which has over 500 million downloads, allows players to get high scores without bombs appearing on screen. Did you pass?
Yes, pass. I have no idea.
Kaustuv?
Pass.
Ben?
This Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja is correct. Good answer.
So many things I don't know about in this week's quiz. Just a whole list.
All right, Kaustuv, your first direct coming up. In what would end up being one of his final appearances for England, which bowler's reverse swinging dismissal of Michael Clarke from the 2005 Ashes Test in Old Trafford ranked number 11 on ESPN Cricinfo's list of balls of the 21st century. He picked up an ankle injury soon after in the same match, was indisposed by the next game, and never played a test for England ever again.
Can you zoom, please?
Yeah, sorry.
I'll say Andrew Flintoff.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Andrew Flintoff?
Andrew Flintoff is wrong. Passes to Sarah.
Oh, I thought it was that as well. So I'll pass.
Pass. Keshav.
Simon Jones.
Simon Jones it is. I believe is Welsh, if I'm not wrong. Welsh original bowler.
Yeah, son of Jeff Jones, whose career was also ended by injury.
Yes, Jeff Jones. Okay, second direct for Kaustuv. Originally published in the New Yorker on October 13, 1997, which short story had working titles such as The Pleasure of Whiskey Blank, Bulldust Blank, Swill Swallow Blank, and Drinkard Blank, with the same blanked out geographical feature retained in the final titles. The first word that was eventually chosen stands for all that happens between the two protagonists in the summer of 1963 and all they have lost 20 years since. Ten seconds.
Pass.
Sarah,
Pass.
Ben?
Is this Brokeback Mountain?
Yes, this is
Nice.
Brokeback Mountain.
Great.
Well done.
Very good
Fantastic
answer.
answer.
All right. With that steal, it's your direct now, Ben. In 1992, Francis Ford Coppola made a film about an ancient being in search of love. The scene in which a dialogue develops between the young solicitor John Harker and his client, the titular protagonist, features this portrait of the protagonist. However, it's simply a reworking of a self-portrait by Albrecht Dürer from early 1500. Who is the titular protagonist?
Um,
10 seconds.
the devil.
Not the devil. Sarah,
Dracula.
big steal there. Crucial steal. Good answer. Second direct for Ben coming up. Which battle royale game for Android and iOS was released in 2017 and as of 2021 has grossed more than $4 billion worldwide? A game consisting of up to 50 players parachuting onto an island to find weapons to kill other players.
Fortnite.
Fortnite is incorrect. Kaustuv?
Wow. PUBG.
PUBG is wrong. Sarah?
Pass.
Keshav?
Pass.
Pass. These are the two guesses that are regularly
Yeah.
done in every game, Fortnite and PUBG. This is Gareno's Free Fire. Garena's Free Fire.
Ooh, never heard of that. No.
Okay.
Okay, moving now to Keshav's first direct. Which Slovenian NBA player came up the ranks of Real Madrid's basketball academy before finding fame at the Dallas Mavericks, where he's having a majestic season? He led Slovenia in an MVP winning qualifying performance to take them to their first ever Olympic basketball berth.
Luka Doncic.
Is absolutely correct. Second direct for Keshav. Some scholars attribute this geographical gap to Shakespeare's lack of formal education. Others defend it as a conscious choice to highlight the fairy tale nature of the piece, or pedantically point out that there was a time when Bohemian territories reached to the Adriatic Sea. In which play did Shakespeare reimagine geography with the Bohemian seacoast, lifting it off Pandosto, The Triumph of Time, a 1588 romantic novella that provided the source material?
The Tempest.
Not The Tempest. Passes to Sarah.
Pass.
Kaustuv.
Oh, pass.
Ben.
Winter's Tale.
That's the first time I've seen this answered.
Nice.
Nicely
Good
done.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Should have got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that took place in Bohemia. That's all I had there.
Brokeback and Tempest, I mean, from the games I've seen, have not been very frequently answered. So two great answers there.
Good answers. Yeah.
Okay, round 6 begins. Sarah,
They were my own questions. I needed help on those.
Yeah, you and me both then.
also known as the club master, Malcolm X sported the eyewear style you see in the photo, a type of glass constructed with the upper portion of the frame thicker than the lower, thereby drawing attention to a specific part of the face. What is such a style called because of how the upper portion of the frame sat in front of the face?
Oh, God. With all these quads, except my own questions. Glass, upper portion, frame.
10 seconds.
cheekbone
Pass.
glasses.
Not cheekbone. Kaustuv.
Pass.
Keshav.
Pass.
Ben.
Pass. No, you and me,
Pass.
Sarah, rocked on these X's. My God.
I would have prompted on eyebrow. Those brow line glasses. Or also
Mm.
combination.
Never heard of those. I've worn glasses
No, never
since the
heard of
age of 4, and I've never heard of those.
Okay, second for Sarah. In the villain section of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains, there are 3 entries that have the character portrayed by one person and voiced by another. 2 of them are for the actor-voice combination of Darth Vader and Auric Goldfinger. The 3rd entry is Mercedes McCambridge and Linda Blair, depicting and providing the voice for the villain of which 1973 movie. This villain is later shown to be the personification of the king of the demons of wind in Mesopotamian myth.
The Exorcist.
Absolutely. Nicely
That wasn't going anywhere.
Okay, here we go. Kaustuv, your first direct. Which Dutch artist made use of the Droste effect in his 1956 lithograph print gallery, which portrays a gallery containing a print which depicts the gallery, but with a void at the center of the image? Mathematicians, including Hendrik Lenstra, have devised a method of filling in the artwork's central void by successively rotating and shrinking an image of the artwork.
Esther.
Sorry?
MC Esther.
Yes, that is correct.
Nice, nice. Actually, yeah.
Nicely done. Okay, next question coming up. What was the surname of Richard, the 1940s, 50s chairman of the New Orleans Crime Commission, in whose honor the restaurant owner Owen Brennan created a flaming dish? The fire caramelized the brown sugar in this dessert and burnt off the excess dark rum.
Brulee.
Wrong. Passes to Sarah.
Oh. No, can't think. Pass.
Keshav.
Pass.
Ben.
Foster.
I had a
Yes.
feeling you're going to get a hat trick of
Yeah.
unanswered questions. This is
Yeah.
the Bananas Foster. Very, very good answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one.
Pays to be an American fat kid sometimes. Answer questions.
All right. Okay, Ben, your 2 directs coming up now, round 6. Which Serbian basketball player, nicknamed the Joker and playing for the Denver Nuggets, has won the NBA MVP award in both the last 2 seasons?
Jokic.
That's correct, Nikola Jokic. Right. Second for Ben. Having a name similar to a gemstone, what name is given to the type of eyewear glasses that have an upsweep at the outer edges, where the arms and the joint meet at the frame front? Popular among women sporting the beehive hairstyle, it was spotted by Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe. An invention produced in the interest of road safety by a certain Percy Shaw is a possessive form of the eyewear style.
I'm confused by the second part, but I'm going to say horn rimmed.
No. Sarah?
Cat's eye.
Cat eye is good enough. Cat's eye, either would do.
Oh, okay. What are those in road safety?
Cat's
It's
eye.
Cat
They're-
size. Cat
they're
size.
studs
Yeah.
with reflective lenses on them.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
you
okay.
it shows you where the lanes are.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we call those that on my side of the Atlantic. Okay.
Okay.
Keshav, your first direct coming up. Number 16 on ESPN Cricinfo's list of balls of the 21st century, which Indian speedster came up with this devastating bouncer that not only surprised Jacques Callis, but also produced an important wicket that helped India win in Durban 2010.
God, I really can't miss this one. 10. Who else was in that attack?
10 seconds.
Srishant?
Prompt.
Srishant, right?
No, and I was just kidding. I just wanted to see what you'd say if I prompted you. This is Srishant, absolutely.
Oh God. Yeah. Took too long.
Okay. Second direct for Keshav. Ghanaian reggae dancehall artist Shatta Whale joined Beyonce's Lion King The Gift album, performing the number Already, which saw her leaning on which dancehall DJ trio, who debuted in 2009 with the album Guns Don't Kill People, Blank 2. Led by DJ Diplo, the Jamaican-born member of this trio, Walshy Fire, happens to be the brother of cricketer Courtney Walsh.
Pass.
Okay, passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Passes to Sarah.
Rappers.
Sorry, did you say something and your voice broke?
Rappers.
No. Wrong. Ben?
Pass.
Pass. I too pass. Let's find out what the answer is. This is Major Lazer. Yes, now I remember.
Major Lazer. Oh, wow. Okay.
No, okay, fine.
So guns don't kill, lasers do. That's the. Okay, last two rounds beginning. It's getting slightly closer now. Sarah, you've got two directs coming up. First on screen now. In a sequence from Batman, while demolishing the museum, Joker stops by this man's painting, Figure with Meat, stating he loves the work and that it is not to be destroyed. Who is the rather appropriate painter of this artwork?
Could you zoom in? Oh, Bacon.
Francis Bacon it is. Good answer. Which 1956 American drama, directed by Nicholas Ray, is based on a 1955 article by medical writer Burton Ruesch in the New Yorker titled 10 Feet Tall. The film is recognized for its multi-layered examination of the American nuclear family in the Eisenhower era and has been read as an expose on medical malpractice and the overuse of prescription drugs in modern American society. Jean-Luc Godard named it one of the 10 best American sound films ever made. Ten seconds.
Broken Mirror.
Nope. Kaustuv?
Pass.
Keshav?
Pass.
Ben?
No, pass.
Yes, this is Bigger Than Life.
Oh, no.
Okay, I think cracked only by VC till now. Okay, moving now to Kaustuv's two directs. The character that everyone starts off with in this mobile game, co-developed by Kilu and SYBO Games, is that of Jacob Ressler shown here. Described as confident and charming, restless and reckless, Jake's mind is always wondering, dreaming of the next cool thing to do, except when he's immersed in his love for street art or inventing a risky new skate trick. In which game, the first on Google Play Store to cross 1 billion downloads, does Jake appear?
Temple Run.
Not Temple Run. Keshav?
Pass.
Sarah?
Pass.
Ben?
Yeah, I was glad you said Temple Run because I was thinking I have no idea. Pass.
Okay, passing. You might have heard of this one. This is Subway Surfers.
No.
Second direct for Kaustuv. In his 1677 essay entitled The Author's Apology for Heroic Poetry and Dash Dash, John Dryden asserts that the contemporary poet Abraham Cowley has pushed dash dash to its acceptable limits. What everyday phrase connoting unbridled creative freedom fills in the blanks in this earliest recorded usage, as presumably alluding to the freedom with respect to Cowley's representation of historical facts in his Pindaric Odes? Ten seconds.
Blank verse.
Passes to Keshav.
Poetic license or artistic license?
Poetic license is due.
Oh,
Poetic license.
nice.
Now direct for Ben. 1937 saw the appearance of the earliest portrayal of a villain by a lady in the list of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains. The villain was voiced by Lucilla Laverne in which animated film? It is considered to be the first full-length and traditionally animated feature film and is among the highest grossing films, inflation adjusted, of all time in the US.
Snow White. And the Seven Dwarfs.
Second for Ben. Flames have no place in the original French version of consuming this drink, but it's the Czech bohemian style, popular since the 90s, that has mythicized the use of fire. It was initially meant to distract from the fact that Czech versions of that era were often simply overproof vodkas with artificial coloring or flavoring, and therefore using fire would reduce some of that. Either way, you're not supposed to ignite the drink directly since it's highly flammable. What drink is this? 10 seconds. I'll pass you in 3.
Passing, yeah, no idea.
Kaustuv?
Pass.
Keshav?
Absinthe?
Yes, absinthe it is.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
I never associated absinthe with fire.
Yeah, I don't either, but I was just like, it's a French drink that you can overproof vodka. I knew that these fake absinthe on the market. So
Okay.
There is a
Okay.
method of doing it.
the fire thing was new to me.
With
Yeah.
sugar and yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the sugar I know about, but I didn't know about the anyway.
That was an important steal from Keshav, and now he has 2 directs to extend the lead. The largest number of people represented by a single star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is the estimated 122 adults and 12 children who are collectively known as WAT, from a legendary movie. They were awarded a star in 2007 in a ceremony attended by 7 of the actors. Scholars see a possible inspiration for the endearing name of these characters from the emblem of a Bavarian city. Ten seconds.
Pass. Don't know this.
Kaustuv?
Are these the munchkins from Wizard of Oz?
Excellent answer. Second direct for Keshav. Which plucked 7-string musical instrument associated with the literati of China, such as Confucius, is on UNESCO's Intangible World Heritage List due to its limited availability today? A Chinese quote goes, "A gentleman does not part with his blank or say without good reason," in reference to the instrument that is commonly misunderstood as the Chinese lute.
Pass.
Okay, Kaustuv?
Pass.
Sarah?
Yes.
And Ben?
No, pass.
Okay, there were a couple of acceptable answers. Chin or Guchin is the actual name. Accept King. It says do not accept Guzeng, so it's good none of you all went with that.
Okay.
All right. Sarah, last round begins. Let's take a look at the scores. 8, 9, 12, 13. Too close to be called right now. 2 directs coming for Sarah. Here we go. The cover of which 1969 vinyl album by Pink Floyd shows the band members sitting in various places with a picture on the wall showing the same scene, but recursively, thus making use of the Josti effect. The album's title supposedly comes from a Cambridge slang for sex. Ten seconds. Passing.
No, I can't think.
Did you say something?
No, I thought I knew all the Pink Floyd albums, but I don't know that one.
Passes to Kaustuv.
Pass.
Keshav.
Let's guess a Pink Floyd album. A Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Not the right album. Ben?
Pass.
Us, you were off by around 20 years with that guess. This is
Not
Amagama.
Metal, was it?
No, Amagama.
Oh, Amalgama.
Amagama.
Yeah, I knew it was that.
Mm.
Bad.
Mm.
I
Think
guess
it's
anyway.
probably the second album or something.
No.
No, third album.
Heard of the album, but I didn't associate it with that.
The last of your direct, Sarah.
Hmm.
In 2020, Marieka's Luca Reinveld won the International Booker for The Discomfort of Evening, a debut novel. What first among international bookers did Marieke, who prefers being referred to differently in English and the native Dutch, thus achieve?
I have no idea. So let's have a guess at won both the international and the British Booker Prize.
Incorrect. Costa?
Pass.
Ben?
Is it like the first for translation?
Wrong. Keshav?
The first non-binary author.
Absolutely. Non-binary author is what they're looking for.
Nice.
That was the reference to the different in English. Prefers he and him in English and zich or haar
Oh,
in Dutch. Okay.
Mm.
Kaustuv, your last two directs coming up. Greek goddesses were all initially sculpted with drapery rather than nude, till which ancient Greek sculptor sculpted the goddess Aphrodite in the nude, seen here, is Mary Beard with a Roman marble copy. The first ever freestanding life-size sculpture of an entirely nude woman, the Aphrodite of Knidos displayed an alternative idea to the then standard in sculpture, which was male heroic nudity.
I'm forgetting the name. Milo? Something.
No. Pass it to Sarah.
Myron?
Not Myron either. Ben?
Pass.
Keshav?
Pass.
This is Praxiteles. Praxiteles, however. it's
Oh.
pronounced.
Never had that. So it's okay.
All right, the last of your direct questions, Kaustuv. In this yoga pose called the Vrishchikasana, one balances on the floor with their forearm while bending the legs backward in the air. While slight variations turn this into a peacock pose or a dolphin pose, which animal is this particular one named for?
Scorpion.
Yes, absolutely. Good answer. Moving now to Ben. We've got the last four questions coming up, and it's a fight for the top spot between Ben and Keshav. These are two very crucial questions. Here we go, Ben. The late great Shane Warne dismissed Mike Gatting in the 1990s to produce the ball of the 20th century. But Warne's dismissal of which English batter at Edgbaston in 2005 ranked number 4 on the list of balls of the 21st century by ESPN Cricinfo. The ball pitched way outside the off stump, turned past the batter's hip as he tried to pad it away, and eventually knocked his bails off. He was also Warne's famous 700th dismissal at the MCG.
Anderson.
Anderson is wrong. Kaustuv?
Strauss.
Nice.
Andrew
Well
Strauss
done.
it is. Well done. So you said
Robbed me of a
Anderson,
month.
right, Ben?
Robbed me.
I just realized you
Yeah.
may have said Andrew Strauss and Anderson. You said Anderson.
No, no,
right?
he said Anderson.
No, I said Anderson. I just made up a name. I know nothing about cricket.
You robbed
can't
me
even
of a
accidentally get
musketeer
points,
there,
yeah.
Kaustuv.
Yeah, but the average Anderson batting to a leg spin is like that. So
And
the average-
Anderson, and also Anderson's left-handed, so it's actually very unintentionally very good guess.
it's a good
Yeah.
but for him, every ball is a ball of the century, though.
Yeah.
So okay, last direct for Ben. After Ismail Kadare and Chino Achebe, which author of collections like Runway and Dear Life became the third person and first woman to win the International Booker in 2009? She won the 2013 Literature Nobel for her mastery over the contemporary short story with Hate Ship, Love Ship, 2013, being one of the several film adaptations of her works. Shown is the author as a young mother from her daughter's childhood memoir.
Yeah, no idea. Pass.
Kaustuv,
Us.
Sarah,
Pass.
Keshav
Alice Munro.
puts it to bed. All right, last two questions of the quiz. We could have a switch in the second spot, but Keshav does have pole position right now and will win today. First question for you, Keshav, direct. Adho Mukha Svanasana is a yoga pose pictured here that is part of the most foundational yoga practices, even finding itself as one of the stretches in a Surya Namaskar or the sun salute. Which animal is this downward facing pose named for?
Dog.
Yes, this is the dog. Absolutely.
Downward
Good
dog,
answer.
yeah.
And here comes the last question. Jhumpa Lahiri is the namesake, moves between events in Calcutta, Boston, and New York City, and examines the nuances of being caught between two conflicting cultures. This debut novel and later film was originally published in the New Yorker under what title, which refers to the namesake of the protagonist, a Russian writer. Due to some late mails and required official documents, the baby boy in the novel has this dark naam or nickname in Bangla, though his actual name is Nikhil.
Gogol.
And that's it. Game, set, and match. Excellent
Well done.
performance by Keshav to win with 17. Ben second place with 12. Kaustuv just Ben with 11. Sarah finishing with 8. And as you can see from the X's, quite not the easiest of game weeks for most.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah, your
No.
questions were brutal. Yeah.
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 Yeah, hope-
It's like most quads, I knew all of them except mine, except the cricket, obviously. But
I will stop
Yeah.
it.